Hey guys, it is Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another reaction video. Damn you fine brothers. You always have to drop these things that my fans want me to react to on a fucking Sunday when I was enjoying myself, also pretty hungover at the moment. I don't even want to fucking drink this right now because I just like want to go to bed, but here I am. Fine Brothers just released Kids React to Black Sabbath, and dude, can we also get another demographic of people too, please? I think the idea of trying to shock kids is about worn off now. Alright, let's get into it.
We are going to have you listen to a selection of songs from a band that some say is part of the early success of a genre of rock music that would one day be called metal.
Yes. That kid's awesome. Someone's gonna need to pick up for Other Jackson when he's off doing the teens thing. We need our new squire. He may possibly be a candidate.
Isn't Ozzy Osbourne in this?
They were a super popular
correct.
band, and I know my dad just listens to them a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you fucking hate him too. Fuck yes.
I know this song. My dad listens to it all the time. This is something I would listen to.
It's kind of crazy. Metal music actually made some like popular hits at one time. And that's the thing is like, can you really call Black Sabbath metal? You have to, since they're the ones that fucking came up with it. The way that I've always described metal for those who always had the argument, oh, that's not real metal, oh, that's not real metal, is first of all, cool your fucking jets, asshole. Secondly, in the context of the time in which this music was created, were they trying to push it to 10? Were they trying to get it past 11? That, and also in the context of the time, was the tone aggressive and distorted. Those are pretty much your hallmarks right there. But yeah, Paranoid's a kick-ass song, one of my favorite songs to fucking play just to have fun and jam around. That, and also it presents lots of opportunity to improvise solo on a blues scale, so just like fuck yeah, blues scale in E no less, so it's like you can't get any easier.
Ooh, that's great. I like that. The guitar. Little guitar solo.
Tony Iommi was a beast. I believe he had some of his fingers, like parts of his fingers chopped off too, and he still managed to fucking do it. Beast.
He has a good voice. Like a memorable voice. What are
Ha! I would say Ozzy Osbourne has a good voice for his voice. It is absolutely memorable. That's probably the most important thing about Ozzy's voice. That and his range is actually quite impressive. He is, what's the word? Unsuspectingly very good at what he does. Would I call it like a great voice? Honestly, not in my opinion. But that's not to take anything away from Ozzy. That dude is just, he's the definition of a rock and roll singer. Get the job done. And he did it well.
It's good. It's loud. Those are all things you want in like a rock and roll or metal band.
Those are the essentials, Sydney.
What the heck is this?
Oh, the intro line was always so crazy when I was a kid.
It's the Iron Man theme song.
Everyone knows this song.
Literally everyone knows this fucking song. This might actually be their most famous song, honestly. I don't necessarily want to say popular, but definitely most famous. This is the first Black Sabbath track I ever listened to.
This is iconic. This is awesome.
Yup. It's actually one of the first riffs I tried to teach myself as well. When you're young and you have no idea what actual metal is and you're just learning the guitar, like I was like maybe a year into it, and then you teach yourself a song like this, you feel like such a badass.
There's like a lot of guitar in all of these songs.
Damn right there is. One of the reasons why Sabbath kicks ass. The main riff of Iron Man gets on my fucking nerves now just because it feels so clunky and awkward, which I guess goes along with the idea of this guy being an Iron Man, and I guess he would move clunky and awkward. But the ending, outro, solo or whatever is fucking awesome. Love that solo and the build up to it. Like fuck yeah. They knew how to write very memorable riffs. Very cool riffs too, I gotta say. Okay, now see, things like that little guitar line that just happened, it's kind of like, I don't know. There were a number of moments in Tony Iommi's solos where I was kind of just cringed a little bit.
It's not my brand. I'm normally a pop music girl.
No kidding. Fuck yes, War Pigs!
Like the beginning intro, like the drums and the guitar is just amazing.
Oh god, yeah, no, it's clutch. I can't remember a rock band that has done something like that before in an intro to a song where they kind of make the big, what do you call it? The accented beats and then just leave everything empty in between. Like, so good. There's a specific wording for it, and I forget what it is right now. Pardon my lack of mental facilities. Fuck yeah. The intro to this song, I mean, especially with that big, heavy, what they would call, oh god, fucking people calling Black Sabbath sludge metal or stoner metal. I want to punch them. But they have that big, sludgy riff that they're playing in the beginning. Da-da-ba-da, boom, 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 ba-down. You know, fucking start going off with it, pick up the pace a little bit, start leaving out all the sonic space that was being filled by these huge chords in this bass and just having big explosions. So it went from like sludgy and smooth and shredding to ba-down, like, all right, it's ready to take the fuck off, guys. Great counterpoint. Great counterpoint.
It's a little slower. It's nicer. Kind of reminds me of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say they sound like super similar, but if you look at the context of today's time, they sound a hell of a lot more similar than Black Sabbath to other modern day metal bands. And honestly, his vocals are a little bit Robert Plant-esque in this track particularly.
Poisoning their brainwashed minds.
Which is death.
The drums in the song are pretty good.
Okay. Fucking hipster kid from the Led Zeppelin episode now is like, I guess it's alright. I'm still mad at you, kid. Of course, knowing how YouTube commenters are, they probably ripped him a new asshole for being such a little shit in the last video. So he's probably just like, yeah, I like everything now.
But his voice is actually pretty good.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the thing, too. It's got such a kickin', groovy fucking verse riff, too, which makes it badass. And yeah, the drums in this song are probably my favorite part about it. I mean, it's an excellent riff, but if those drums weren't as kick-ass as they were and actually vary a lot throughout the song, then the song would probably be boring, honestly.
That guitar guy is like really good.
Fuck yeah, he is. Keep preaching the good word, Gabe.
I have no clue, like, what the lyrics mean.
So I think a lot of kids aren't really going to pick up on this one, but as far as I understand it, it's basically war profiteering. Politicians and corporations get together and wage wars so they can make a shit ton of money and keep brainwashing the people to think that it's a good idea. Something to that effect. Best ending.
That was a very interesting song because it was like going from like one point where it was like da-na, da-na, and then there was another part where it was going like really fast.
So basically what I said.
Thunder, like
Na 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 na. Sorry. It's the first thing I thought.
They sound like they like could haunt you in your sleep. It sounds like
It probably will.
What is this?
Yeah, pretty much. So I've listened to the song Black Sabbath probably twice in my life on purpose, and honestly, I don't understand what's so appealing about it. It's not a horrible song, but it's really not that good to me anyway. The creepy stuff in the beginning is kind of like, honestly, it's really awkward at worst and kind of cheesy at best. I don't know, the thing just did not appeal to me.
Halloween, it's over. I'm sorry, Ozzy Osbourne. Dramatic. Oh, God.
Super dramatic. I will give him that. The guy has a super flair for the dramatic and performance and exaggeration. He's really good at that.
Ooh. Okay, that's a good solo. That's a good guitar solo.
Started creepy.
Always
like
save
the
Sabbath.
Thunder and lightning. Then the lyrics are kind of weird.
That one was kind of like getting...
It's another one I really didn't give a damn about. Not the worst. It's really the drums in that verse part that really bug me. If they did something with a hi-hat instead of sitting there on the toms and the kick the whole time, I probably would like this song a little more because they got this really cool part coming up that we'll talk about. But yeah, I think it just kind of bothers me.
I like the variation with their music.
It's interesting she says that. I mean, Black Sabbath by no means, at least that I know of, ever rehashed any of their songs. All of their songs were pretty unique from one another, but they definitely have a very specific sound. It's the hallmark of a good band, man.
Bye-bye, chair. I'm dancing now.
Okay. Oh, evidence that his generation sucks. I'm not throwing any shade at that kid. That kid is trying to enjoy himself to some Black Sabbath and rock on to him, but his poor generation has the cultural influence of dancing like fucking that to metal. Oh, we need to, dude, okay, if we can find out if that kid has social media or anything, if we can send him a ton of links to death metal construction and teach him how to properly dance to metal, I think that would be best. Let's get this kid a little edumacation up in here.
His voice is really high.
This part. It's not a favorite part of a Black Sabbath song for me necessarily, but it's just tonally so interesting. That really thick fuzz on both the bass and the guitar, and then accented by the hits on the fucking drum kit. Like, oh my goodness. Has a very heavy, chunky feel to it, and had a huge influence on the grunge sound, man.
Different from the other ones. Like, his voice is like high pitched.
Agreed. It's kind of interesting, like I said, seeing Ozzy's range.
How high can this guy's voice go?
Let's show her King Diamond, bro. Or better yet, instead of something that's just off the wall nuts like that, show her Periphery. That dude can outrange Ozzy, I bet you.
Oh, dreams turn to nightmares and stuff, and then it starts like getting more like.
Dreams turn to nightmares. He waits in silence. Definitely ripped off his own melody. For those of you that aren't aware, that's the same melody line that's in Bark at the Moon, which is a far better song than this one. Bark at the Moon's a fucking kick-ass track. As a matter of fact, when I'm done making this video, I'm jamming out to that. Plain and simple. Love the shit out of this song. This fucking riff.
I really like it.
The beat is really catchy.
That fucking riff. Oh my god. If you don't get hooked into that riff after like 8 measures, then I'd have doubts that you are actually human.
It's a lot better than the other bands we've listened to.
What does he listen to? With a lot of the bands they've listened to, I'm in full disagreement. Not full disagreement, but I mean, Black Sabbath is not one of the favorite bands that they've reviewed so far that I'm sitting here doing a video on. And then this chorus part, which is really cool, it actually does fit, but it's like such a carryover from the 60s with the fucking tambourine and the guitar falls out and it's just the bass, like, oh my god. It's so dated, but I still love it. I don't give a shit. This is a fantastic song.
It sounds like they're losing their voice. It's because they're yelling a lot.
His voice sounds like deeper and slower. It just sounds like a different person overall.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, we went from going super high in Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, down to lower, more somber tone on a NIB in the chorus. Very good observation for a little shit.
Some of them I really like, but some of them, they were too crazy for me.
They're like,
It's alright, man. It's alright. Seriously, though, we need to get a Kids React to Dream Theater. I'm going to be bringing this up every episode, just so you know. Or there actually is a petition up. I'll put the link in the description. There is a petition up to get Sydney by herself reacting to Dream Theater. Because Sydney is the best fucking kid on this show.
They have Ozzy Osbourne. They have a great guitar person. Sorry, I don't know your name. There was like some really good drum parts. Pretty awesome.
So
Love that girl. I don't know who her parents are, but they're probably fucking awesome people. That's all I can say.
there was Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, really? I'm pretty sure his daughter's a famous singer now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ozzy was known for being pretty wild. He partied pretty hard. He started doing crazy things on stage. At one
His fucking body is wrecked now, too. I don't know how the fuck he's still alive, but God bless him. God bless him for keeping going.
time, he even ate off the head of a bat.
Okay, so I've heard a number of versions of this story, and the one that I believe is most credible is basically he was playing a show, somebody threw a bat up on stage, and he thought it was a rubber bat or like a toy bat, because who the fuck would be carrying around a bat, let alone a bat at a concert? And he's getting into the show, he picks it up and bites its fucking head off and fucking throws it up in the air, and he didn't realize the thing was fucking real. I'm just picturing like the fucking, he's sitting there holding up the bat headless, and the bat's head is in his mouth, and the music from Curb Your Enthusiasm starts playing through his mind.
Like, be friends with a guy who bites off heads of bats.
There's
It's a good rule of thumb.
there's being extreme, there's being hardcore.
And then there's being Ozzy Osbourne. He and Keith Richards need to have a competition of who's going to be more embalmed while they're still living.
So why do you think that rock stars end up doing crazy things like this?
So they could get more fans. When people become famous, they go into crazy things.
For kids, they have some wisdom, I gotta say. Those would have been my answers. Maybe a little bit more elaborated, but essentially that, yeah. Shock value was a thing and still is a thing today because they know that people's eyes will go towards it.
Do you get why their sound would impact other bands, or do you not feel like they're a band you'd want to be like?
Honestly, I wouldn't really want to be like them, because I'm more of a solo person. Like, I perform at my talent show every year.
God bless her. I hope she knows how to play it like an actual instrument and not just trying to be a fucking pop idol. She honestly seems like a sweet girl, and I would hate for her to fall into that bullshit.
I get how they're influential. When I hear those bands, and now I hear this one, they kind of have the same feel to them.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit. Here's the thing. Yeah, you can absolutely tell the influence, although, I mean, because they're the progenitors, honestly, they are the progenitors, and because that sound is spread across and down so many generations, I kinda, like, it's very broad, their influence on everything now. But I will say, if metal never really became a thing and it died with Black Sabbath, I don't know if I'd be a fan of them or not. Like, honestly, if you think about all of the things that would have never happened if Black Sabbath didn't influence so many of the people that I listen to, I have no fucking clue. I'm sure someone would have tried to turn the knobs back to 11 at some point. But honestly, like, okay, spoiler warning, I'm not a huge fan of Black Sabbath. I don't have any dislike for them whatsoever. I think they're a great band. They should be recognized as one of the most important bands in rock history. But I don't know, like, some of their songs I love, other songs I'm just like, please turn this the fuck off. And honestly, it's kind of my final thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to help me make better videos, you can pledge to me on Patreon, link is in the description, or if you want to just do a one-time thing, you can go to PayPal, also in the description, or merch store, get some cool merch. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!